again from the Gaslight Baker Theater, getting ready to read the 8th chapter of the original Adventures of Hank the Cowdog by John R. Erickson. I'm joined again today by Miss Tammy.
Hello again.
Going to help me out, and we're going to jump in pretty quick. But before I start, I should say that if you'd like to find out more about Hank the Cowdog and look up all kinds of interesting things that I'm not going to cover, you can look into the comment section or where I posted up above, and you can see that there are links to Hank the Cowdog and Hank the Cowdog on Facebook, and you can follow those to any kind of place that you would like. All right, jumping in. Chapter 8, Hank runs a bluff.
Missy's old man was the chief. His full proper name was Many Rabbit Gut Eat in Full Moon, which in Coyote culture was regarded as a beautiful name. Can you imagine a mother saddling an innocent pup with a name like that? Shows just how backwards them coyotes were. Anyway, nobody used his full name except at rituals and war councils and such. Mostly they called him Chief Gut, or just plain Gut. Gut was an old devil, skinny. You could count every rib he owned on both sides. Looked like a one-way plow with a wet blanket thrown over the discs. Walked with a limp, packed his right front leg, which was missing a couple of toes, had a long scar down the front of his face, nose was all beat up, and his left ear looked as though the rats had been chewing on it.
He came limping over to where I was, and strangely enough, he had a smile on his face. Made me feel a little better about things. Aha, he laughed. Daughter catch dog. Coyote girl pretty, huh? Mighty pretty, yes she is. You like, huh? He turned to the other coyotes. Dog like girl who drink blood. Thinks she pretty. They roared at that. Got a good chuckle out of it. I must have missed the joke. Old Gut turned back to me. Oh, foolish dog to chase coyote girl into canyon. Very, very foolish you leave ranch. Come here without big hat and boom boom. I'm doing my best to translate this conversation from the coyote dialect, but maybe I ought to pause here to clear up some of the terminology.
Big hat was a coyote word for cowboy, and boom boom meant gun.
Thought I better get that straight. I mean, you can't expect everyone to be fluent in 3 or 4 or 5 languages. I was, but that was just part of my job. One of the many things a top-notch cowdog had to master before he could take over a ranch and run it the way it ought to be run. I might also mention that I had a fair knowledge of the coon, possum, and badger dialects, and I could bluff my way through in chicken and prairie dog. Actually, chicken's pretty simple.
Chickens are so dumb that they only have about a half-dozen words in the whole language, and 3 of those words are just different ways of saying help.
All right, we've got that out of the way. Now, where was I? Old Gut turned to me. Oh, foolish dog to chase coyote girl into canyon berry. No, we've already heard that. Now you in big trouble, huh? You do good job, daughter. Catch dog.
Not catch dog, she said. Dog help, save life. Name Honk. Honk friend.
The old man scowled. Honk not friend. Fight coyote many time away from chicken. He, chicken dog. Chicken dog? Now them was fighting words. If Missy hadn't been right there to hold me back, I might have cleaned house on the whole coyote nation. Me and old man Gut went nose to nose and were growling at each other. When I caught some motion out of the corner of my eye, I looked. It was Scrunch. He was crouched low, walking real slow. Hair along his backbone was bristled all the way from the back of his neck to the tip of his tail. Had a snarl on his mouth that showed 2 rows of long white fangs. He was a big dude, tall, brawny, raw-boned, and so ugly that a guy could hardly stand to look him in the face. Kind of throwed a chill in me. Old man Gut backed off. Now what you say, chicken dog? You scared, betcha, huh? I swallowed and and tried to keep my knees from going out on me. Nah, I ain't scared. You's not scared, Scrunch. You not smart. Scrunch very bad fellow. I glanced at Missy. Tell your brother that I don't like the look on his face.
She told him. He stopped, and a roar of laughter went up from the other coyotes.
When they quit yipping and howling, I went on. Tell your brother that if he takes one more step, I'm going to use him to sweep this whole pasture. And when I get done, there won't be a cactus bush left in Ochiltree County.
She told him. He grinned and took another step.
Tell your brother I saw that, and I won't forget it.
Missy shook her head. Not talk so big. Make Scrunch mad. Big mouth make big trouble.
One of the first rules you learn in security work is an old piece of dog wisdom. Never bite if you can bark, and never bark if you can growl, and never growl if you can talk, and never talk if you can run.
In other words, when the odds are against you, the best kind of fight is none at all.
That was my strategy, see? The longer I talked, the longer I could stay alive. And who knows, I just might say something that would change Scrunch's mind about tearing me limb from limb, though I didn't have a great deal of hope. He was standing maybe 4 or 5 feet in front of me. A hush had fallen over the tribe, and all eyes were on the two of us. He sat down and leered at me, and I mean leered, brother. That wasn't no ordinary grin. I leered right back. Tried to anyway, though I never really perfected a good leer. Then I turned to Missy again. Tell your brother that I've changed my mind. If he can mind his manners and act right, we'll forget the whole thing.
Missy started to speak, but Scrunch lifted his paw for silence.
Not speak through sister, he said in a deep rumbling voice. You have talk, you speak Scrunch. All right, I nodded. You asked for it. You really done it this time. I was prepared to forget the whole thing and just let it slide, but by George, if you're going to keep pushing and mouthing off, well, hey, this could get serious. Come on. He didn't move. Come on, get off your duff and let's settle this thing once and for all. I'm tired of waiting. I mean, I came out here to get you, Scrunch. Oh, I know you thought I was messing around with your sister. Ha! That's just what I wanted you to think. It was a trap, Scrunch, and you walked right into it. Oh, what a dumb brute you are. I didn't think you'd actually fall for it. I never dreamed it would be this easy. All these months I've been waiting to even the score between us, and I never dreamed I could just walk into the canyon and you'd come to me. Speaking of silence, them coyotes was silent. I guess they couldn't believe what they were hearing. Scrunch glanced at Chief Gut, and Gut glanced at Missy, and Missy glanced at me, and I gave her a smile and a wink. Scrunch stood up, and so did the hair on the back of his neck. Scrunch killed Chicken Dog. You think so? You actually think that? I cut loose with a wild laugh. Holy cats! Where you been all your life? You've been up in the Bojacks too long, Scrunch. You're so country it hurts. I mean, you're pathetic. I almost feel sorry for you. I took a step toward him. You still don't understand, do you? It still hasn't soaked into that thick barbarian skull that you walked right into my trap. Oh, I can't believe this. Scrunch cut his eyes towards old Gut. Scrunch killed Chicken Dog. But there was a little less conviction this time. Okay, I marched right up to him until there weren't more than a couple of inches between our noses. If you're bound and determined to go through with this, let's get it on. But first, I want you to do something. I want you to ask yourself this question. Why would a smart dog walk right into the middle of a bunch of coyotes in their country? Put your little brain to work on that, Scrunch. If you figure it out, you'll know the secret. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Nobody moved. There wasn't a sound, not a whisper. 15 seconds went by, real slow.
I was in the process of checking out the escape routes when an old woman coyote, Scraunch's mother turned out, broke the circle and came out to him.
She whispered something in his ear.
No, he growled. Scraunch not scared. Kill chicken dog.
The old lady went to whispering again, then old Chief limped over and joined the conference. It was kind of agitated.
They growled and snapped and snarled, typical coyote family discussion, I would imagine. All right, I yelled, time's up. I'm out of patience. Have you figured out the secret yet, or shall we start spilling blood? The old lady led Scraunch away. He glared daggers at me over his shoulder. Old Chief Gut came over and stood in front of me. Not fight today. Rats, I said, and almost fainted with relief. All right, if that's the way you want it, we'll let it slide this time, but I'm warning you, don't ever let this happen again. Not happen again. Good. I guess we understand each other. We understand. Very good. Now, if you coyotes will just stay where you are, I'll slip out of here and get on my way. I started backing away and ran into 3 big coyote bucks. Excuse me, boys, if you'll just,
Honk, not understand. Missy came over. Honk, stay. Become coyote warrior. Prove himself. Many fight. And marry Missy Coyote.
Huh? I shot a glance at Chief Gut, who was grinning and bobbing his head. Yes, very good, you stay. Make outlaw. Make warrior. Make warrior? Well, I've always wanted, but I really have to. I tried to ease around the 3 coyotes who were blocking my path. When I moved, they moved. They didn't intend to let me out of there, is the way it looked. Stay, not leave, the chief went on. Old coyote tradition. Adopt brave dog, make brother. Brave? Well, I can set you straight on that. You see, together we killed mini chicken, eat cat every day, howled moon, oh boy. I don't know about eating cat. I tried again to edge around them bruisers, but they pushed me back. Dog not leave, said the chief. Yes, sir. Maybe later, marry daughter, have mini pup. Everybody happy but Scraunch. Too bad. He not understand secret. There was no chance of me getting out of there, so I walked over to the chief. You figured out the secret? He laughed and nodded his head. Oh, yes. Very much. What did you figure out? Gut glanced over his shoulders and brought his mouth right next to my ear. Secret. Too secret to tell. You got it all right. You sure did. We had a good laugh, me and old Gut, but I doubt that we were laughing about the same thing.